Hey everyone, Michelle here. Thank you for joining me on my channel. I am here with you today with my first January limited edition kit, My Creative Scrapbook process video. And so this kit uses this lovely, simple stories, vintage, fresh snow group. And I was so excited that it was this month's collection because I think it is just beautiful. And so I'm using this pattern paper with this trees in the horizon. Now I didn't want to have the trees at the very bottom, and so I cut off the top half of the paper and moved it up, and I'm going to have white below it so it goes across my layout horizontally more in the center. And I am going to add quite a few trees to this layout. And this first one is going to be the largest and more of the centerpiece. And I am creating it by using a lot of the strips from the UPC strips. And so I've created that tree and I'm going to tidy that up. But I'm also creating 5 or 6 other just basic triangle trees, and I'm using my fringe scissors to add some interest to them. And yeah, that is where I am going with this. And so I'm also going to take all of my trees and sew down the center of them. I will do that here in a moment. And so I have my strips that I've kind of figured out how I want them to look on this little folksy tree. And so I'm going to adhere them all, and then I'm going to cut it into more of a traditional tree shape. So that is what is happening now. So I will say I'm doing all my voiceovers for my videos in one day. I am finally at a point where I'm over my cold or getting over it. And so it might sound a bit rough in some spots, so just bear with me as my voice is struggling to return. And so I am going to create some mixed media trees on this white background. And so I'm using chipped sapphire, prize ribbon, rustic wilderness, weathered wood on most of these trees that I'm going to be creating. And so I'm just taking it through this little cute Tim Holtz um, stencil. And then I also add water through that other little stencil. I think I could have probably just done it just as well without that additional stencil. And then this is a stencil that comes in the kit, this cute little branches. And so I'm going to just create a tree shape with some masking tape and then create my tree using texture paste. Now I'm going to use the translucent Tim Holtz paste for this so that when I add color to the top, it still has the white from the paper below. And so created my tree shape. I'm going to let that dry and then come back. So you'll see I have added some little trees. I had a tree stencil. I'm sorry, I didn't record some of this. So I'm adding speckled egg to the bottom there. And then I also, that tree that I made earlier, I used scorched timber and speckled egg to color that in. I have added the trees up above, and now I'm just going to add some weathered wood spritz and some white paint splatters to the bottom of this, and then that will pretty much wrap up the mixed media portion. So the photos I'm using for this is this fun little snowshoeing photo of my daughter and my husband when we were in Leavenworth a couple of years ago. And so it just seemed perfect for this collection. I have placed some of my trees. I also used some of the leaves from the flowers that come in the kit because they kind of have a tree-like appearance when they're turned on end. And so I have used some of those as trees as well. And so in that fir cluster, I am using a lot of the word sentiments that either came in the fresh snow, either in the stickers or in the bits and pieces. And there are also some little tree bits that come in the chipboard stickers or chipboard phrases piece that comes in the kit from Cartabella. And so I thought those trees were really cute. So I'm trying to decide what I want to do as far as flowers and embellishments. And so I've chosen a lot of the smaller white or ivory flowers. I have taken out a lot of the hard centers so they lay a little bit flatter. And I have also cut out some of the white flowers from one of the fresh snow patterned papers. I am going to use that large kind of hurricane lantern. I've cut out some tickets from one of the pattern papers, and I have also curled the ends of a lot of the flowers that I'm using just for a little bit of interest. And yeah, I really like how this is coming out so far. I am trying to figure out what type of title I want to use. I go back and forth with a few different titles, but I decide to stick with this beautiful because it really was a kind of a beautiful, like late afternoon day in the snow. And then I am going to add a few snowflakes. So I've added some of those below. Now, some of those are from the sticker sheet and some of them are from the bits and pieces. And with the flowers and a lot of the word um, sentiments, I should say with the word sentiments and a lot of the uh, uh, inking I did. I used quite a few different colors for inking on this one. I wasn't very consistent. And so I used a lot of the rustic wilderness. And then I also used some scorched timber and some chipped sapphire. All right, so I'm trying to figure out just a few more bits and pieces to kind of finish this off, adding a few more flowers. And I know flowers aren't real typical in a winter layout, but these are just so white and clean and lovely that I was happy to use them on this layout. I will never say no to adding flowers to layouts, and so yeah. Now I think I'm going to add a few more word phrases because that is the primary like clustering types of things I did on this layout. I added the remember this up above our photo, and then I am going to add the cold hands and warm hearts there, as well as snow adorable above the beautiful word. I'm also going to add woodland winter under beautiful. So as far as embellishments, that is like the theme of this is the trees and then the word sentiments. I used quite a bit more word sentiments than I typically do on a layout. And let's see what else I have to do. Ah, yes. And so I'm going to add some centers to these flowers using some gold little resin beads. And so this is a bit of a getting these beads into the center of this. I love how it turns out, but I haven't used this before, so they were all over the place, but that's okay. I reined them in and used a little scoop tool to add them to the centers of my layouts or of my flowers. And so turned out really cute. I just need to improve my technique here so they're not all over the place. And that is one of the last things that I'm going to do on this layout. So thanks again for joining me. If you love the Simple Stories Fresh Snow group as much as I do, you'll want to check out this kit at My Creative Scrapbook. Go ahead and hit like or subscribe. I appreciate your support and have a great day.